Kristi. Welcome to another meal prep video. In today's video, I'm going to be keeping things very simple and very quick. It's actually the week before Christmas when I'm filming this. By the time you see this though, it's probably going to be closer to New Year. I have a lot to do today and I have a lot to do this week to get ready for Christmas, so I'm keeping things very simple this week. And for breakfast, I'm going to be doing kind of like protein bentos, just very quick, throwing some things together. And for lunch is going to be my award-winning Hearty chili. I'm not doing any DIY dinner kits this week because I've actually ordered dinner kits to be delivered tomorrow. I ordered them from Home Chef. A lot of you know I use Home Chef on occasion. If you've not tried Home Chef before and you want to give them a try, I'll put a link down below. You get, I think, $35 off your first order. As always, I'll put any recipe links down in the description box below, and I'll also put links to some of the items that I use, my meal prep containers, my OXO salad spinner, any of the items that I use in my video. I try to link those down below. If you're new, you're going to see me meal prepping 6 breakfasts and 6 lunches. No, I do not eat the same thing 6 days in a row. I'm going to be meal prepping for my husband and I, so it's 3 for me, 3 for my husband. And then for the other days, we just do whatever we feel like having. I'll be sharing the Weight Watcher points as well as calories. And I've also been sharing protein because I have been trying to increase my protein. Finally, y'all know how much I appreciate the thumbs up on my videos. And if you're new and not subscribed, I would love for you to be part of the family. So let's get started with this quick meal prep. All right, breakfast this week is going to be super easy. We are basically doing, I guess you could say, protein bentos. So all I'm going to be putting in our breakfast is some almonds, some blueberries and strawberries, and then I also have some cottage cheese here, and also some Greek strawberry cheesecake yogurt. I haven't had these in a long time. I used to get these all the time. So these are 2 points or 80 calories, and there's 12 grams of protein in it. These cottage cheese are 2 points or 120 calories and 19 grams of protein. The almonds, I'm going to use 28 grams of almonds in there, so that is, I think, 6 grams of protein. I'm also going to throw in 2 ounces of this turkey. This is just Publix oven baked turkey. So this is 0 points on Weight Watchers and 60 calories, I believe. And for the protein, it's like 11 grams of protein. So we're talking between 30 and 40 grams of protein for this breakfast. For my breakfast bentos this week, I'm going to be adding some fruit to them. So I'm going to be using strawberries and blueberries. I'm using my OXO salad spinner to clean them. That's pretty much what I always use for cleaning any of my fruits or vegetables. And I usually add in about 1 part white vinegar to 4 parts water. I just let it sit and soak for maybe 5 to 10 minutes and then just rinse it real well and put it on paper towels or a towel and let the fruit dry, and that's it. So I'm using my 3 compartment meal prep containers. I'll link these down below. So I'm just going to split up the blueberries and strawberries amongst it. I'm going to cut the strawberries and then just throw the blueberries in with them. Next, I'm just weighing out the 28 grams of almonds and also the 2 ounces of turkey. My intention was to put the cottage cheese or the yogurt in one side, but we don't know what we're going to want each day, so I'm just going to leave those in the containers, and then I'll just put the turkey in this side, and then we'll just take the cottage cheese or the yogurt with us. So that's the extent of my breakfast this week. So I made a slight change to the breakfast. I decided that for the almonds, I didn't want to put those in the fridge. If you've ever, I've done that once before and they were almost they kind of get, their consistency is kind of, not soggy, but they're just not real crunchy. So I don't want those in the fridge. So I decided that I'm just going to put those in a little container. So I won't keep these, I'll pull these out. I'm just keeping them in there for the picture. But I'll keep these in a container and then I'll just take them with me the day we have them. So I decided to have some carrots with it as well. But I will let you know, I'm not going to be putting together any snacks for this week because this is a lot of food, and honestly, I will not be able to eat all this much for breakfast. So what I usually do is just kind of snack out of it. So I won't be doing any type of snack meal prep this week. So if you have the whole ounce of nuts, it's 4 points and 160 calories. Honestly, I will probably only eat half of them. I can't eat a whole lot of nuts in one sitting, so I'll probably just eat half of them and then I'll eat the other half later. So for my breakfast, purposes of my breakfast, it will probably be 4 points. I'll do 2 for the nuts and then 2 for the cottage cheese. If you use non-fat cottage cheese, of course, that's 0 on Weight Watchers. So for me, it's going to be about 4 points and right about maybe 350 calories with just using the half an ounce of the almonds. And then if I have a day that I have the yogurt, that'll be 40 calories less. For lunch, we're having my award-winning Hearty chili. I absolutely love this chili. We usually have it like maybe October. This year, we just haven't had really a cold front come through until now, and it's December now. So I'm gonna get all my vegetables chopped up. So usually I like to chop my vegetables by hand, but when I'm making chili, I do like the onions and peppers really, really small. So I use my little Chef's Rival, it's called. I'll show you the box, but I don't even know if they have this anymore. This is really old, and my mother-in-law actually gifted this to me. I've had it for a very long time. It's actually falling apart, but it's just a manual chopper. So I'm just using that to chop up all my vegetables. So for this recipe, you need 1 large onion, a green bell pepper, a yellow bell pepper, and an orange bell pepper, but use whatever peppers you have on hand. So I'm just setting them aside into this aluminum pan while I'm cooking my burger. So I've got the onion and the orange pepper in here, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow and green pepper. This calls for 3 pounds of 96% lean ground beef for the points and calories on this. That lean ground beef can add up, so something I have done, especially when I cook in bulk like this, is just take any kind of ground beef. I cook the ground beef and I rinse it and basically call it 96% lean. So what I do is just take a bowl and I just drain as much of the grease out as I can. Then I put a large bowl down in the bottom of my sink. You want to make sure you don't get any of that grease down your sink. So I just kind of use that to catch any of the grease water. I just rinse off the meat and then I just let that grease water harden and throw that away later. And I call it 96% lean. Now, whether you're supposed to do that or not, that's just the way I do it. So as I always say, you do you. So I've taken my Instant Pot insert and I'm just going to use this to heat it. I'm going to put it on the slow cook function, but you can cook it on the stove however you want. So I put my meat in here. I added 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and 3 tablespoons of garlic. And I'm just going to mix that up. And then I'm going to add everything to this. So now I'm going to use that same pan that I used the meat to cook the peppers. And I'm not going to add any oil. I just basically left what was in there for oil from the rinsing the meat. Now for this time I have chosen to cook my onions and peppers first. That's completely up to you, especially if you're using a slow cooker. You can just put them in there. I do like mine to be cooked more. Also, you could just cook them right in with the ground beef. If I was using the 96% lean ground beef, I would just cook them all together. But since I was rinsing the meat, I didn't want to lose the flavor of it, so that's why I'm cooking them separate. To that, I'm going to add my onions and peppers, which just got done cooking and are still very hot. Mix those all up. Now, one thing to know about us, we like a lot of beans in our chili. So in here, I have 4 cans of beans. You can use whatever cans of beans you want. I use 2 cans of white cannellini beans, and then I use 1 can of dark kidney beans and 1 can of light kidney beans. And I drained and rinsed them this time. Sometimes I just pour them in there, but I decided this time I'm going to drain and rinse them. And also for my diced tomatoes, we like lots of kick in our chili. So I use the diced tomatoes with green chilies. I use 3 cans of these. I also add in 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes and also some tomato sauce, but the amount that I use, it just depends. I use anywhere from a cup to a whole can. Now I'm adding 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire and my 4 tablespoons of chili powder. And then I also add hot sauce. If you don't like it that hot, you don't have to add that hot sauce. So now I'm going to slow cook this on low for 4 hours. Now, if you like chili plain, you can certainly leave it plain. We like to chop up some green onion, put that on it, and also just a little bit of Mexican cheese and some sour cream. And when you stir in that sour cream, it makes the chili so creamy. And depending on the heat of it, sometimes we'll even add a little bit more hot sauce. So now I've got my meal prep containers. I'm going to use my little containers that I get from the Dollar Tree for the sour cream and the cheese and green onion. So I've got the sour cream in one, and in the other one, I'm putting about 1/8 of a cup of reduced fat Mexican cheese in it. And then I'm going to just throw the green onions on top of that. So this usually makes about 18 servings. The number of servings you get is going to completely depend on how big your peppers are, how much tomato sauce you use, how much tomatoes you use, the size of your beans. I mean, everything factors into that. So I average about 18 servings. On my website, the serving size is 1 cup and it's 187 calories, 20 grams of protein, and 2 points. But I'm using 1.5 cup servings because y'all know I'm trying to increase my protein, and I shoot for about 30 grams of protein in each meal. So by doing 1.5 cups, that'll bring the protein up to 30 grams, and then it'll bring the calories to about 280, and the points will be 3. And then of course, whatever toppings you use, you'll have to add that as well. So that's my award-winning hearty chili. And the reason I call it award-winning is because I actually won a chili cook-off contest, and I won first place 3 years in a row. So since I make a huge batch of chili, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to freeze them in these super cubes. I love these. You can use these for soup, chili, whatever. They're silicone and they have marks in here for 1 cup, half a cup. So with chili, I always do 1 cup. So since we're having the chili for dinner tonight, and then we're having it for meal prep for 3 of the next 5 days, we are not going to want it for dinner any other night. So anything that's left, I'm just going to fill these and freeze it, and then we'll have it for another day. So usually what I do is I freeze these, and then I take each individual portion out and put it in freezer bags, like just regular freezer bags, and then that way I can use these for something else. Alright, so I'm just going to be doing 6 cups because my son is going to be coming over. We've been dog sitting their dogs while they've been on vacation. So I'm going to leave the rest that I have for them. So this is my meal prep this week. No DIY dinner kits, and I didn't do anything for snacks. I actually have a banana and an apple over there. That's all I have left for that. But since I already have the strawberries and blueberries, and I have carrots in here, this kind of becomes like my breakfast and snacks throughout the day. So right now it's a week before Christmas, so by the time this goes up, it'll probably be after Christmas. So I will just say I hope you all have a wonderful new year. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.